Hello, everyone. Welcome to the next episode of Language Talks, where we are going to talk today with people who are doing some amazing work for children through their various projects. This initiative is called as Share a Book India Association. It started as a campaign to make sure that reading books in school for pleasure is not considered a luxury but a necessity. So let's talk to them and learn more about this association from them. Joining us today are Srishti from Jaipur, Chetana from Mumbai, and Aditya from Pune. Let me introduce them to you first. Srishti Parihar is the founder and director of the Share a Book India Association. She is an engineer, storyteller, and a writer. She is passionate about social justice. She continues to raise awareness about the gaps in our education system and society. She is also a member of the international communities of Rise Up Leaders and Vital Voices. Chetana Shetty is the head of programs at Share a Book India. She used to run reading programs at Mithanagar School in Goregaon. She is a voracious reader and is passionate about Share a Book India and its cause. Aditya Rajwade is a data analyst by profession and a book buff by passion. He is always surrounded by books and doesn't hesitate to share them with us. Welcome to the show, Srishti, Aditya, and Chetna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Look forward to a wonderful conversation with you.
Same here. We are grateful for the platform and to share our vision and mission with you.
Oh, thank you so much. So, I would like to start by asking you, Srishti, about this amazing initiative. What inspired you to create this association?
Yes, sure. Um, so the organization was never the plan, but it really comes from a deeply personal place. I come from a background which is a mix of rural and urban influences. And as a second generation learner myself, I have seen the disparity in the society and in access to education. So having access to library and storybooks when I was growing up helped me transform my worldview, me explore worlds which would never have been accessible to me. I have been able to imagine possibilities which I don't think I would have been able to if I didn't have these resources growing up. So it has shaped me as an individual, and knowing that there are children in schools still who don't have access to storybooks, who don't have access to all these possibilities, which I enjoyed myself, kind of made me feel the need to do something. And so after finishing my engineering, I just started a Facebook page and it grew into this organization which we see today, a volunteer led, a people's movement kind of organization with a very simple solution that children should have access to books. So, yeah, I think that's what inspired me, my own experiences growing up.
This is so nice. Such a simple thought, and the need for books has led this to such a big movement, we can say. What kind of communities or individuals benefit from your initiative? Can you tell us about it?
Yeah. So we work with children who are between the ages of 6 and 14, especially those who are coming from marginalized communities and have limited access to books within their own families and communities. So the goal is again that every child should have the right to read. And I believe that it does have a larger impact apart from the children whom we are directly working with. We are also bringing this impact to the larger society because children are growing up with the type of critical thinking that is required to be uh, innovative, to question the things we see around us, and the empathy that is so much required in today's day and age. So yeah, I these are the children are we work with mainly.
It is so important that children take this project at a very young age so their future shapes properly. That's so nice. Can you tell us more about your projects? Because I saw on the website that there are a lot of projects involving a lot of things.
Yes, yes, we do a lot of things. That's true. And again, with the same simple goal that reading should be accessible, it should be engaging, it should be transformative for children as well as our, people who love to read or people who want to read but don't have access to read, and also making books affordable and accessible. So we run I would say what we do at Sabia is the library development program. It is a program that we researched and kind of built from scratch based on our experiences within schools as volunteers. So here I'm not just talking about myself, but also the initial volunteers who would go to schools and come back with their experiences, their stories of how the sessions were going and how their interactions were with children. And it has become like a very, like I said, a simple, scalable solution which can be implemented in schools to set up libraries and where there is access to books or where their books are available, we can make those libraries functional because what we see is that there will be books, but children won't be allowed to take the books. So that's one program, the main program, I would say. And then we have different events like summer camp where we try to keep children engaged in learning. We have Kahani Mela, something we started last year like it's a culmination of what we do at a school, and it kind of again the engagement is the goal, and it helps children get feel more empowered about what we have been doing over the time period where we are in the school itself. And children put up shows here. Children talk about their experiences of uh, volunteers coming and doing read aloud. So it's all about like stories and sharing stories they like and they've read. Then our annual event, which is accessible to everybody, like it's an open to all event. It's Kitab Utsav, and with Kitab Utsav again, the idea is to raise awareness to make books, and I'm not talking about just like children's books, but also second-hand books being you know put to use, and we try to also raise funds through that event where we do like um, really what do you say book sales which are helping children and people who love to read but they can't afford to read have to access to more books. So it's a
Okay.
way to bring the community together. Yeah, these are like some of the main programs that
Main
we
projects. Okay, great. Chetna, I would like to link the question to what Srishti said just now. There are so many projects, and you are the head of projects. So, how do you make sure that everything runs smoothly and they are executed properly?
So, the main thing is we are a volunteer led organization, as Srishti mentioned. So, half the job is done if we get passionate, committed volunteers. And that is our endeavor always to find people who are passionate about the cause, who are committed to the cause, and who realize that if you want to bring about social change, if you want to bring about a systemic change, you have to put in the effort. So that is something that we try to ingrain in our volunteers that you have to put in the effort. Also, my attempt is always to keep a very smooth line of communication between the various volunteers. Like I told you, we have volunteers from all over the country, and most of whom have never met each other, but they have to work together cohesively to make a project successful. So
Right.
ensuring that at all times communication between the various teams is functioning smoothly is one of is challenging, but I think we have been able to do a good job of it so far. And because we are all bound by a common passion for books and for enriching the children's lives with books, so it helps that we are all bound by that common passion and we work towards it.
Absolutely right. I think that common passion is driving everyone together. That's great. Chetna, you joined India as a volunteer. So how and today you are managing all these programs and running them, executing them. So how has been your journey ever since?
So, like you mentioned in your introduction, I have always been a reader since I was a
Mhm.
child. And I have three children, and they are also readers. And reading to my daughter, even now, is one of the highs of my day, our time together where we sit and read together. So I always knew how much books can enrich and empower a child. That was always there in my mind. So when I got the chance to volunteer with Share a Book India, I thought it was a perfect fit. And when I started going to the schools, I realized I had some idea that, these schools do not have access to books. Schools do not have, creative learning opportunities for children. But I think I underestimated how bad the situation was. When I actually went to these schools, I realized that most children over there had never held a book that was not their textbook. And
Oh.
the situation was very bad, to a point where seventh and eighth standard children could not read books that were meant for third and fourth grade children. So we have had to work on our program to make sure that we leave no one behind, that we are able to include children who are way below their reading level and bring them up to par. So that has been part of my journey, evolving the program like that. And I found it so enriching, so rewarding to go to these schools and meet with these children that I could not imagine my life without Sabia in it, without Share a Book India in it. So I have stayed connected with this organization since 2019.
That's great. Aditya, I would like to ask you, you are an avid reader yourself, and you also run a book reading community. How would you highlight the importance of reading books, especially among children?
Oh, wow. Okay. So I think it's like a similar answer as Chetna. So I have been reading like since a child, and I have seen how reading has changed me over the years, how reading influences me as a person, and how it uh, lets me see the world which I do not belong in always. So
Hmm.
honestly, and the creativity that comes with it. So every time a child reads or a child reads, he discovers something more than what he is shown. So he is aware, he is more creative, and it is very important not just to grow academically, but reading for pleasure as the main thing is. So it actually academic textbook. So reading something not just for the aim of scoring marks for it, but actually reading and just like enjoying it, and in a way learning subconsciously through it is very important. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, absolutely it does. Thank you. Aditya, you work with this association as a IT and automation lead. So, can you tell us more about it?
Yeah. So as Chetna said as well, though
Hmm.
organization is volunteer led, so a lot of people are volunteers. So what's the best way to utilize these volunteers? Not in repetitive timeless tasks. So since I recently joined the workforce, it has been only like I work in a corporate world right now. It has only been 6 to 8 months, and I've gained a lot through these 6 to 8 months wherein I can apply those teachings to the NGO and get them to get the volunteers to do something more than what they are than just the repetitive task. I don't want them to doing the same repetitive task. So that does not make them just grow. So whenever a new volunteer comes in, it is not just so you do not just do the same task, you grow as a person. So every volunteer I've personally like I've worked with as well, for me personally as well, has grown as a person. So how to make them like just do something more, how to make them do something different than their or like lives. So this is where like I just want to automate things and make things easier in the back end, work make things smoothly run in the back end, so that people can fulfill their tasks or go grow creatively or do and think crazy basically in when the backend is pukka, when the building blocks are really nice, then everything works right. So this is my basically,
Yes. Right.
and in the current world,
Mhm.
data is king. So the more data we get, the more effectively we can utilize these resources.
That's true. My question to you now, Srishti, is: are there any partnerships or collaborations that have helped in growing you as an association?
Yeah, absolutely. So partnerships and collaborations have played a crucial role. Um, like we started, I myself started as a volunteer, and the support from partner schools, uh, the NGOs who already were working in this field, um, some publishing houses which encouraged us to keep going in this direction by donating some books, and then other library educators who also came from the same experience of working with marginalized children. So many people actually have helped us grow to where we are today. And recently, we have started working in partnership with the Rajasthan government education department. So
Oh,
that's, yeah, that's a crucial partnership because that opens doors for us in many ways. Even like where there might be resistance from the school leaders or the school staff in bringing in something new like a library development program. So that helps us. And of course, the supporters who donate books to us or contribute monetarily to us, these type of partnerships have kept us going. Um, College partnerships, school partnerships, who send volunteers, their students as volunteers to us, or as interns. So through their internships, they aim to find more like-minded individuals, more people whom we can include in our community. So these, yeah, type of partnerships make it a collective effort, and yeah, that's how we have grown.
okay. Yeah, yeah. I think without support, any association cannot survive. So you're getting all this support. That's a good thing. Right. Can you tell us more about your team?
Okay, so yeah, our team is like a mix of individuals from diverse backgrounds. We have Chetna and Aditya here, then and also coming from the different parts of the city, different parts of the country. We have Radha as our graphic design head, who who comes from Chennai. Then we have Khushi Jamgeet right now, and she heads the HR department. So all of them have joined us as volunteers and continue to stay on for a number of years. I think Chetna's journey being the longest. Um, and Aditya also joined somewhere around that time only. So yeah, these two I think are the senior most team members. And this is the core team. And then we have our volunteer team, which goes to the school, which also handles a lot of communications background at the back end. Then, yeah, I mean, it's a mix of mostly youngsters. We are a very young team, I would say. And all of us being really passionate about the cause of books and engaging with books and making sure every child has access to books.
That is great. That is great to know. Srishti, can you tell us about your project for specially able children?
Yes. So the idea was that leave no child behind. And when we had this opportunity to have braille books in our libraries, in our community libraries. We have partnered with an organization which is based in Pakistan, and the collaboration would basically be like inclusive education for children across South Asia. So there are three organizations from three different countries who are collaborating on this: India, Pakistan, and Bangladesh. Um, India, like it does share a book India, and Pakistan organization is called Bolte Group. They also um, work on a lot of content for visually impaired people, and they uh, when we met, the idea was that why not have story books in braille that children can
Mhm.
enjoy. And one of the other collaborators is Lead to Shine. They are based in Bangladesh, and they are also um, working with children. So yeah, that's
Mhm.
about it. I mean, it's still in the
Yeah.
works, and we are still
Okay.
figuring out logistics because, as you can imagine, it's
Yeah,
a
that's
project across the subcontinent, and we are trying
yeah.
to make uh, it sustainable and reach out to more and more people.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Mhm. Aditya, I would like to ask you. You also coordinate the Pune Library Development Program. So, how do you go about it?
So when I reached out to Srishti post COVID again, I just
Mhm.
wanted to volunteer in the organization, and it led to a lot of different events where I kind of head the Pune LDP program now, with Chetna giving some amazing inputs, because without her inputs, I do not think I have that much of. She has amazing creativity. So yeah, so we just started. We figured out a school. So that the school that we go to has five schools in it. Like that one complex has like five different schools in it. So it has been
Okay.
a blessing as well. But it hasn't been without its challenges, like the levels Chetna mentioned, like post COVID, it is even more horrific right now. Like, especially in, I think the school that we are going to is a Marathi medium school. So the English
Mhm.
there. So, but the kids are amazing. I mean, like the kids have so much potential. They are so much of curiosity. I mean, they just, if like the motivation there is not there much, like they just, if they know how much it matters, and they are just amazing. So I love that part. So we are so because of the book community, I have a lot of amazing people I can reach out to. All of this has been through the word of mouth, and I think there are like eight people who are in the 7 to 8 people in the
Okay.
LDP program right now, and all of them are kind of like working professionals who just have a passion for books, and I do know all of them personally now, and they're just
Mhm.
an amazing group of people, and
That's good.
it's great to see all of them working together, and like
Mhm.
we have grown close together as well, like discussing problems, discussing things
Mhm.
like, with each other. So it's been really nice. I
Oh,
hope
that's nice.
answers the answer.
Yes. Is this only about English books or is it multilingual?
So
Uh,
we believe that language should never be a barrier to the joy
Okay.
of reading. But also, one of our aims is to make sure that the children are more adept at English, because when we go into the schools, they are very reluctant to talk in English. And that's one of the
Mhm.
challenges that we face a lot, that children are reluctant to talk because they're very underconfident. So we do use mostly English books, but we try to make sure that the library has vernacular books as well, English, Hindi, or Marathi language books as well. That is our endeavor, so that children can
Mhm.
enjoy books regardless of which language they are comfortable with. However, our sessions are held primarily in English and Hindi, or English
Mhm.
and Marathi. As Aditya told
Okay.
you, like some of the children don't have an ease in English at all. So we always have
Yeah.
to translate things to them while we
Mhm.
are holding the sessions. So that is something that we incorporate into our sessions.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to add something here. So,
Mhm.
like Chetna mentioned, the idea is that children should be comfortable with what they are reading, and it is a multilingual program. The
Mhm.
idea being that English is not necessary, has never been refuted so far. It's common knowledge that you need English in order to in formal sector, and our children who are first generation learners come to school with the aim that they will be empowered by their learning. So when people say that we should not really focus on English so much, the idea doesn't sit right with us as an organization also, and because why should the responsibility of having the vernacular language as the dominant language, or the encouraging only the vernacular medium of teaching, why do we only think of these things in terms of marginalized communities? Because the elite are not going to leave their English behind. It's not going to happen that in upper circle societies we experience fluent vernacular. It's always fluent English. So this idea is basically coming from there, that yes, our children deserve this knowledge as much as the children going to elite private schools.
I would like to ask all of you, what are some of the most rewarding moments you have experienced in this journey?
I would like Chetna or Aditya to share, and then I can go.
Mhm.
Okay, so when I was a volunteer in
Mhm.
2019 in the school, and I had taken a few sessions, and I was still new at the whole thing, and I was taking a few sessions. And one day in one of my sessions, there was this little boy who came to me with a very tattered old copy of a Spider-Man comic, and he showed it to
Mm.
me with such pride and joy, and he told me ये मेरा है, ये स्कूल का नहीं है,
Oh.
ये मेरा है. I got it as a birthday gift from my mother. And that's when I realized that owning a book which is not a textbook is such a rare and beauteous thing for them. It's something we take for granted. Our children have so many
Mhm.
books, and we are always trying to buy them more, they are gifted more, but just owning one book is a big deal for these children. And that
Mhm.
made me realize that how important our work here is, not only
Mhm.
with the children themselves, but with parents and other stakeholders as well. Because parents, whether it's parents or whether it's teachers and all, they also many a times don't see the importance of storybooks. They don't understand how much it matters to a child. Many times we
Mhm.
face this issue where children are told actively that what is the use of reading storybooks, it's not going to
Mhm.
come in your exam, or things like that.
Mhm.
So they are deprived of such a major joy, and that was a big learning for me, that it is important
Mhm.
to involve all the stakeholders in this and make them also
Mhm.
understand how much joy a book brings to a child.
That must have been such a cute moment.
So basically, when I was volunteering with Sabya pre-COVID, so I was in my bachelor's. So I used to go to school like every Saturday. I used to look forward to going to every Saturday. I used to plan in the weekend. I used to get very excited to share my stories with the kids. And so what happens in like classrooms is when a class teacher is absent, two classes are clubbed together. So I remember at that time there were like 50 students in the classroom, and I was the volunteer there. And so there was this eighth standard student classrooms who we did not go to usually, but due to circumstances, he was in the whole class was with us. So I remember him very vividly. He was wearing a pink hat cap backward. He had a very great attitude and all of the things. But so after the session, I remember his words very much well कि भैया आप हम लोग के क्लासरूम में क्यों नहीं आते? And
Oh, okay. Mhm.
so that was I still remember it vividly. I can even picture the memory, and that is one of the moments that led me to, once I got settled back in life, to reach out to Savia again. Ki is this
Mhm.
in Pune? I want to work here as well. And like
Mhm.
that still remains a very big thing with me. And that is one of my core memories of basically of all things. And in Pune, it's been an amazing journey, but uh, it's been challenging. But over the time, the most rewarding moments are basically When I was going to come to Mumbai and I wanted to schedule a trip, I told my kids in the classroom ki I want to go to Mumbai. I want to visit my grandparents, grandmother. So the kid was like, दादा तुम्ही समर वेकेशन्स मध्ये जा ना म्हणजे शेड्यूल इट इन युअर समर वेकेशन्स do not go now. Like, yeah, it's like it feels nice. Like, honestly, you're making a difference in someone's lives. Or, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, I mean, these moments are really to be
Okay.
cherished.
So, no, I was just adding to what Aditya said. Uh, Something similar happened to me in my very first school when I started taking sessions as a volunteer. And it's just like I got reminded of it from what Aditya shared. So
Mhm.
I probably that's why I keep doing this and I kept going. So we were taking a session and had completed a read aloud, um, just reading a story. And then it was like I was home and I didn't have much going on at that time, and that's why I was, free to visit the schools, and I was also exploring the idea at the time. And after this session was over, I just started to go back home, and this girl comes out of the class and she holds my hand and she says, "Didi, kal fir aana." So
Wow.
I didn't really expect, like a session. And at that time, I was doing, story sessions with different batches just to understand how it. Um, and I didn't expect like in one session it will be so much of an impact. It was not like we had, you know, had any bond earlier, but during that storytelling session, something happened that the girl, the student was so interested and she was felt so connected with maybe what I was sharing or the way I was sharing it that she asked, come again. So I of course like I didn't promise that I will come every day, but that's maybe what sat with me and like still remains.
Oh. I think that's what keeps us doing this work, going on and pursuing what we really believe in. That's amazing. How does a typical session look like? Like when you go to the schools, do you tell stories or do you read books out to them? How is it? I mean,
So initially, what we do is we have our LEP session divided into distinct sessions. So we have six storytelling sessions, three assessment sessions, and three activity sessions.
oh,
So
okay.
typically, our storytelling sessions would be where we go, we tell stories, we read out books to them, and then we encourage them to take books from the library that we have set up and
Mhm.
things like that. But we also have activity sessions where we try to bring in some activity that is related to the story that we have told them, or something like
Mhm.
that. Like, for example, in one of the schools that I was working at, we did
Mhm.
a story that was set in Japan, and
Oh,
after we
okay.
told that story, we got someone in who taught the children origami, which comes from Japan. So they had a
Mhm.
good hands-on, experience of
Mhm.
doing that. So we try to merge creative learning activities that keep the children engaged, and
Mhm.
also stories. We have storytellers who use puppets and who use props and things like that. So we try to
Oh,
always
okay.
keep it very engaging and interesting for a kid, and we train our volunteers also that way. We try to get them to tell stories in very engaging and fun and creative ways and not
Mhm.
just read a book out to them. So
Mhm.
that is our attempt usually in these storytelling sessions. And we plan that well before we actually go to the session.
Hmm. Oh, so I mean, I can understand why children are enjoying so much because it's full of creativity, storytelling, and whatnot. Fantastic. If someone wants to contribute to your association, get involved as a volunteer or something like that. So, how does one go about it?
On our website, you can find all the ways to get involved.
Okay.
One can donate books. We
Mhm.
appreciate books which are, uh, specifically for children, age appropriate, in
Okay.
good condition. And again, picture books are most welcome. So you can donate
Mm.
books. Then to volunteer, we have a Google form on the website. Very simple. You
Okay.
can fill it up in 5 minutes, and there are various departments that are listed. Even if you can't contribute on the field, you can contribute in various other ways. We do encourage
Okay.
volunteers to always visit schools and work in the classrooms. Then
Okay.
financial contributions are required. They help us
Mm.
sustain and expand our programs. We can do
Okay.
that. And
Mm.
recently, what we have also started doing is, like I mentioned, collaborating with the government and seeing
Mm.
how we can advocate for education reform, or at least making libraries functional. So you can, share the word about the work we are doing. You can encourage
Right.
schools to integrate
Okay.
library periods with, yeah, this,
Okay.
like
Okay,
every,
sure.
yeah,
Mm.
every
Mm.
effort counts and helps us build what we are doing.
Okay, sure. Understood. Great. That was a lovely discussion, and I'm super excited to already to join your association in some way or the other.
Wonderful. We look forward to having you.
Yes. Oh, thank you so
It was
much.
lovely talking to you.
Same here.
Thank you, Lalita. Thanks for giving us a chance
Thank
to
you.
talk about the work we do.
You're welcome. So, see you then. Bye bye.
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 Bye. Thank you, everyone, for joining me in conversation with this lovely team of Share a Book India Association. So, please have a look at the website. And if you want to join, if you want to volunteer, do fill out the form. See you in the next episode. Till then, have a good day. Bye bye.